Imagine if AOC got to write history books and they said, why did people sneak into America? Oh, climate change.
Climate change is different because we have an expiration date.
It's like 20 years from now. Climate change was so bad that people were walking from Guatemala to get plane tickets to fly to Michigan.
We've got 12 years to turn it around.
Yeah.
12 years.
For real? Are you sure? Are you sure that happened? Maybe there's other variables? What do you think?
My concern is that we are going to be the frog in the pot of boiling water.
Hey guys, maybe some of the stops along the way, they only speak Chinese and they have Chinese signs. There's like a concerted effort to get people in from China. Hey, something going on? No, just climate change.
We are going to debate and debate and debate and debate. And then when we actually finally pass something, it is a wimpy carbon tax and our kids are doomed.
Oh, so simple. So nice to be able to just...
Bill Maher and Joe Rogan have teamed up to completely dismantle AOC, and it's as brutal as it is hilarious. If you remember, a bunch of commentators recently exposed AOC for misrepresenting her background and upbringing, that revelation reached Maher and Rogan, and since then they've gone full throttle. Their takedowns have been scathing and relentless. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, let's dive into the chaos.
Did you hear what AOC said?
He wanted to pick a fight with me, below me. He's going to lose that.
It's amazing.
Maybe don't send our country into war because you're in some type of mood.
It is straight out of South Park.
Gosh.
It's straight out of South Park.
Congress was supposed to have a classified briefing today, and they canceled it last minute.
Like what?
Yeah, I know.
It's giving scrambling. It's giving disorganized. It's giving they are having problems behind the scenes.
Do you know something I don't know?
Please understand that this is Trump's war. This is a Republican war. Don't let them...
Like, what are you saying?
Like, what is she even saying? I don't know the full backstory here, but it's honestly hilarious how Joe Rogan no longer even pretends to take AOC seriously. The days of him viewing her as a rising Democratic star are long gone. He once praised her speaking skills and even admired her courage for stepping into Congress at such a young age.
Video of when she found out she won.
It's amazing. Play it.
Yeah.
It's like one of the realest moments. And look, people are angry. 28-year-olds, what the f does she know? What she doesn't know, she'll learn. Maybe she knows a lot. I like the fact she wasn't supposed to win. I like the fact that the guy who was an incumbent was a 10-term incumbent.
Yeah.
And that he spent 10-1 versus on her. How much money she spent? 10-1.
And grassroots got her
Grassroots.
elected, man. And that can happen.
Dude, she's a kid.
Yeah, that's...
And she's pretty. She's a pretty, young 28-year-old.
Yep, that was Rogan completely captivated by AOC when she first got elected. He praised her talents and saw real potential in her, and he wasn't the only one. Millions were intrigued. But once the polished image began to crack, once people started seeing through the rehearsed speeches, Rogan's admiration evaporated. Now there's only mockery. He no longer sees a trailblazer, just a performative activist, a politician fluent in sound bites but allergic to real scrutiny. And Rogan's not. Holding back on his podcast and interviews, his criticisms have become sharper, more precise, and honestly way more entertaining.
Imagine if AOC got to write history books and they said, why did people sneak into America? Oh, climate change.
Climate change is different because we have an expiration date.
It's like 20 years from now. Climate change was so bad that people were walking from Guatemala to get plane tickets to fly to Michigan.
We've got 12 years to turn it around.
Yeah.
12 years.
For real? Are you sure? Are you sure that happened? Maybe there's other variables? What do you think?
My concern is that we are going to be the frog in the pot of boiling water.
Hey guys, maybe some of the stops along the way, they only speak Chinese and they have Chinese signs. There's like a concerted effort to get people in from China. Hey, something going on? No, just climate change.
We are going to debate and debate and debate and debate. And then when we actually finally pass something, it is a wimpy carbon tax and our kids are doomed.
Oh, so simple. So nice to be able to just...
This clip is basically a montage of AOC saying things that are completely outrageous and illogical. I'm not even surprised anymore. Remember when she claimed climate change could be solved in just 12 years, as if global environmental dynamics follow congressional schedules? That's peak AOC. She actually believes climate change is the primary cause of mass migration over poverty, corruption, or violence. Maybe you could chalk that up to youthful idealism early on, but after 5 years in Congress, it's no longer idealism. It's plain ignorance. Still, tossing around simplified, undercooked ideas on global crises is no longer excusable. It shows a stubborn refusal to learn or even question, wait, does this make sense? Instead, she leans into theatrics, hoping passion will substitute for facts. It doesn't.
Interviews was when AOC was talking to that lady and she asked her to expand.
About Israel-Palestine?
Oh
yeah.
my God.
You used the term the occupation of Palestine. What did you mean by that?
I think what I meant is like the settlements that are increasing in some of these areas and places where Palestinians are experiencing difficulty in access to their housing and homes.
She just collapsed into herself?
It's literally like a fifth grader that didn't study.
Yes.
And then they ask you about the subject, or you didn't read the book. And then, it's about Billy and his dog and a really good relationship, these dogs.
But the crazy
Do you
thing...
think you can expand on that? Yeah, I mean, I think I'd also just, I am not the expert on geopolitics on this issue, you know?
So if you watched the whole interview, and I did, OC boldly declares at the start that she's an expert. Big claim. But the moment real questions came her way, she fell apart. That's her signature move. Take her out of the Trump-bashing comfort zone and ask something policy-specific, she melts. It's become predictable. She thrives in echo chambers, not real debates. When challenged on substance, she defaults to vague deflections. Her once bold expertise disintegrates into cliches. She's mastered political theater, big drama, zero depth. And that's dangerous. When style trumps substance and the media protects her from tough questions, what we get is a flashy performer, not a leader. That's why Bill Maher also chimed in on her facade.
Robotic tripods could be vaporizing New Jersey. Democrats would point out how the death lasers were disproportionately affecting low-income communities and people of color, and AOC would tweet, "Stop demonizing the Martian X community."
It's funny, but also painfully accurate. We could have literal aliens landing in our streets and Democrats would be on TV defending them in the name of empathy. And honestly, we're not that far off. Unchecked illegal immigration is reeking. Havoc, fentanyl flooding cities, human trafficking, rising law enforcement, stretched thin communities suffering. Who's defending this chaos? Democrats. And leading the charge is AOC spinning fairy tales while Americans deal with the consequences. Maher nailed it. If aliens were rampaging through LA, Democrats would still be on CNN advocating for peaceful coexistence. It's not about fixing problems anymore, it's about playing to the crowd. In that show, reality is sidelined and common sense gets tossed aside. Just like in this next clip where AOC fumbled a basic policy point and got schooled by Mike Lawler.
Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez caught that interview, or at least saw it online, and she wrote, "It's not normal. Lawler voted to make the tax breaks on billionaires permanent while making the no tax on tips, just for those making less than $25K, expire in just 3 years. He's also kicking tipped employees off Medicaid, ACA, that's Obamacare, and clawing back their SNAP." So is she wrong about this bill?
Yes, she's entirely wrong. Look, the standard deduction, for instance, which was doubled under the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, is made permanent. This is a huge tax cut for middle class and lower income families all across this country. Obviously, within this bill, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no a senior deduction, a child tax credit expansion. This is targeted towards the middle class and working class and lower income Americans all across this.
Exactly, she just doesn't get it. She won't pause research or even try to fully understand an issue before going full steam ahead. Take that recent Big Beautiful bill, for example. It aimed to ease the financial burden on the middle class through substantial tax cuts. AOC responded by accusing the government of taxing people making under $25,000 while supposedly giving billionaires a free pass. Total fiction. She twisted the facts. Same with her Bronx backstory, despite evidence she grew up in Yorktown. And let's not forget that viral story about cashing her grandmother's Social Security checks, complete fabrication. After 5 years in office, she's still peddling misinformation. It's no longer ignorance, it's deliberate. She's refused to grow or let facts get in the way of her political theater. People say, well, she draws a crowd. Sure, but listen to what Maher has to say about that.
Not about the big crowds that come out to you when you're talking in a festival or wherever they are. I think it's because I think Bernie showed up at Coachella. That must have been fun for the fans. It's who shows up on Election Day. And I just don't see that's the ticket. I mean, Cory Booker, I know you've worked with him. I like Cory a lot from my home state of New Jersey. Made a speech for 25 hours. Again, just whacking each other off. This is just not what's going to get the job done.
I've said this over and over, the Democrats keep repeating the same mistakes, especially after last year. Kamala Harris drew massive crowds, got the celebrity endorsements, and was treated like the next big thing. But what did that deliver? A crushing defeat at the ballot box. Even with a $15 billion campaign budget, they couldn't make it work? Why? Because Kamala isn't a leader. She's a PR product wrapped in identity politics? No vision? No grit? Number. Strategy. Worst of all, they've learned nothing from that loss. Instead of adjusting, the DNC acts like it never happened. They're obsessed with appearances, not outcomes. If they don't change course soon, 2028 will be a rerun of failure.
Holy shit. He said what?
Did you witness the president commit a crime? Is it your testimony today?
Yes.
And what crime have you witnessed?
How much time do I have to go through it?
It is simple. You name the crime. Did you watch him steal something?
Corruption statutes, RICO and conspiracy.
What is it? What is the crime, sir?
You asked me to answer the question. I answered the question.
No.
RICO, you're obviously not familiar with. Corruption
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
It's a category of crimes that you're then charged
You
under.
have charges.
A long 100
You
list.
have charges. Please
to name the exact statute
Sir,
under RICO?
yes.
Oh, well, it's funny. In this committee room, there's over 18
All right, sir. I reclaim my
lawyers
time.
that went to law school.
I reclaim my time.
You guys
okay,
to
thank
define
you,
the
sir.
statute.
I reclaim.
This one's almost too ridiculous to believe. AOC, in full performative mode, tried to ambush Tony Bobulinski by asking if he had personally witnessed Joe Biden commit a crime. Without blinking, he said yes. She pushed further, demanding he specify. He did, citing corruption and RICO violations. And that's when it got awkward. AOC seemed completely unaware that those are actual crimes under federal law. Bobulinski answered clearly, but she either couldn't follow or didn't want to. Either way, she ended up exposing her own ignorance on national TV. That wasn't a gotcha moment. That was a cell phone.
Recommendation of the many that you recommended family separation.
I recommended zero tolerance.
Which includes family separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested with a child.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father
Mr.
from his
Holman,
family.
with all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're in the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum and go through the port of entry, do it.
AOC feels far too polished and performative to be taken seriously as a presidential candidate. She's too extreme for most voters, lacks the depth for global leadership, and is too reactive for a role that demands composure and intellect. Her obsession with social media moments and viral sound bites might play well online, but they fall flat on the national stage where real leadership matters. To be fair, she's still young. With some humility, genuine growth, and willingness to listen. More than lecture, she could evolve into something more substantial. But right now, she has no business floating presidential ambitions. What she needs is time, experience, and a serious reality check. Until then, her best move is to focus on substance, not spectacle. Right now, AOC is more performance than policy loud, unrefined and out of her depth. Her presidential dreams are